What's up, everybody? Welcome to the series premiere of the Behavior Movement. I am your host and trainer, Brett Yaris, and this season you're going to see me working with the Niang brothers. Okay, that's Lucas Niang, third-round draft pick of the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. He has opted out of the NFL season due to COVID-19 concerns, and so we've been working all season to get him ready, make sure that he is prepared and sharp for his return to the team. So you get to see a little bit about how we use behavior science, behavior technologies to work with him and train and condition his movements on the field. Also going to work with his younger brother, Ethan. I've been working with both brothers for about 5 years. Ethan graduated from New Canaan High School in the Northeast in Connecticut, and he's doing a prep school year at Taft, trying to get some college offers. Ethan is very new to football, only started playing his junior year, never really played, had an injury season cut short in his senior year, a year in which the offensive system for the school changed about 3 or 4 times. So you can imagine how difficult that is for a newcomer. And so he really wants to play college football, and so he's doing this prep year at Taft High School in upper state Connecticut, and we're going to help him. And we've been helping him, and we prepped all summer. We worked all summer long to get him ready, to work on his rawness, to condition some proper offensive tackle behaviors. You're going to hear me talk about terms like chaining. You're going to hear me talk about terms like shaping and latency and response time. Okay, these are all behavioral terms used in the broader world of behavior science. When we think about behavior, we're thinking about things like yelling and screaming and cursing and bad behavior and how your kids behave and how the kids behave at home and they don't go to bed and all this stuff. But behavior is everything. Behavior is everything that living things do, which means football player got to do stuff on the football field. That's behavior. And that's what we're working on. And in this first episode, you're going to see my work with Ethan Niang. You're going to see us do everything and condition everything from proper warming up using plyometrics to how we shape those plyometrics into getting out of his stance in an explosive way, taking that stance and working on post steps, taking that stance and working on outside hand placement. We shape it all together to get the proper behavior movement. And that's what you're going to see tonight. So without further ado, let's line it up. We always like to start our sessions doing plyometrics because our focus is always to make sure that we are building on explosiveness. Okay, you know I'm a big proponent against using speed ladders, right? Unless you're going to be a salsa dancer, right? Doing all these types of motions ain't going to help you on the football. However, when we get to doing plyometrics, that is just straight explosion. Okay, whether we're doing plyos at a lateral, whether we're doing plyos at a vertical, up, down, backwards, forwards, anytime we're adding an explosive motion to our change of direction, we're going to get better. So I always like to start every single session with that. All right, here we go. That's it. You can cut it. Go. That's it. Go. One of the things I want to look at, okay, and we did this yesterday, is when we're hitting the side to side, it's always going this way. Yeah. We got to make sure we're hitting that consistent spot. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker, okay, I'm going to set it up here. All right. Make sure you're landing in between that because you're getting up, back, and all those types of things. Yeah. We just want to make sure we're being consistent with our placement because that's all about control, right? That's all about, are we controlling the actions that our body is doing, yeah, right? We don't want to just kind of, okay, I know I got to jump to the side, so I'm going to just jump anywhere to the side. And we want to be precise, right? We want to be surgical. That's it. Go. All right, so now we're going to shape this, all right? Shape the plyos into our pass set, okay? So we're going to start at that cone. We're going to do our lateral plyo here, and then we're going to angle set back. Good, okay? And our focus here is making sure we're getting 2 feet down at the same time when we land. Yeah. Why do we want that?
Well, because you never know when the contact will come, so you want to be ready.
And when you say ready, that means our feet are on the ground, yeah, okay? We're in our nice base, our weight is centered, we're not landing and then kind of falling to a side. So that's something we're going to look at here. We're going to make sure that when you land, you're landing with balance. Yeah. Okay? All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna further shape this, right? Shape, shape, shape.
Yeah.
We're taking something and we're constantly adding layers to it and shaping it into what it's supposed to look like as a final product, okay? And so we've done just plyos laterally. Now we've done lateral plyo into pass set, okay? Now what we're gonna do is lateral plyo into pass set with an outside hand strike, okay?
Yeah.
And so what's gonna happen here is you're gonna take your lateral plyo, go ahead. Good, take your set. Boom, when you take your set, I'm gonna be here with the bag,
Yeah.
okay? I'm already gonna be here.
Yeah.
So you land and you strike, okay? Now the key here is our target. We gotta make sure that we're not hitting right here where the A and the F are touching.
Yeah.
We gotta hit over here where the L is, all right? Logo, outside, okay? Go. 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 See how we're all balanced there?
Yeah.
Okay, we're kind of leaning into that foot. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go. Go. Last one. Ready, set, go. So two things, right? The first rep, what happened?
Didn't separate the hands.
They hit at the same time, right? The hands? Okay. And on every rep, there was one other thing that I noticed that I want to make sure we fix. Balance. But balance, why? What were you doing that caused you to kind of be off balance?
Would have been set, but I felt like at the end of it, I was leaning.
You were leaning because as you were taking your set, okay, you were opening the hips off right away, okay? Our hips have to stay square into contact, meaning you start with hips square to the line. When you angle out, hips got to stay square to the line, okay? So I want to do this again. I want those to be our 2 points of emphasis here. Let's not have simultaneous hands. All right, let's work on 5 reps in a row with them being independent, okay? And we're gonna focus on making sure the hips line square. So I'm gonna stand here now in the cones, okay? Now I'm gonna come straight. You should be in front of me, okay? All right, set, go. Ready, set, go. Bigger set. Bigger jump. Ready, set, go. Okay. Keeping the hips square that time, okay? The reason you don't want to open them up, right, is if I'm a speed rusher and you come out with your hips now open, you're actually giving me a lane to the point that I'm trying to get to, right? You need to trust your set to get you in front of me and throw me off of my lane. All right, that's where that contact is necessary. But if you make contact with your hips parallel here, so come over here and stand this way, right? So you are opening the hips up like this, right? So if you make contact here, if I'm able to just wall you off either with a rip move when I see the outside hand come here, okay, or a chop down, right? I have a straight line to the quarterback. But now, if you're in the same exact location, but your hips are square, well, now I got to take on your body weight. You understand? So it's what we call the difference between a hard edge and a soft edge. And right there, when you jump out of your set with your hips open, you're giving me that soft edge. We don't want that, okay? Got to make me work for every single thing I want. You understand? So what we're going to do now, per your request, okay, is we're going to remove the audible go. I'm not going to say ready, set, go. I'm not going to say ready, whatever. All right, you're going to go off of my movement. Now, we've talked about this in the past where you can make the argument that this isn't so functional because you don't ever have to go off movement in a game. As an offensive player, you are the movement that triggers the defensive player to come across the line, right? But in this case, what we're trying to make sure is we're speeding up, okay, that reaction time, or we're decreasing our word from our last couple sessions, our latency period, right? We're decreasing the amount of time between we notice something and in which we respond to it, and that's our behaviors, our response, right? So we're trying to decrease that time frame. And so what we're gonna do is you're gonna line up here, I'm gonna line up here, and I'm gonna go. And my go, my movement, is your signal to begin your pass set, okay? And I think you said this just before, right? which was you felt like this helps you because you now have to be worried about it and attentive to my motion, and it actually helps you be more explosive because you're more aware of what you need to do. Is that still true?
Yeah. It's also that when you come out kind of running, then it makes you think about getting deeper in the set, which is kind of helpful too.
Okay. Hey, look, I mean, that's exactly what, that's the feedback that every coach should get from the players that they work with, right? Is understanding like what is going through your mind based on the environment that we're creating as coaches, right? And so by doing this, and we've done this before, right? To you, that's helped you get deeper into your set, gain more ground, be more explosive because of the environment that sets up, right? So if that's something that's helping you be successful, that's something we should be recreating and doing often. All right, so we'll do that. Set. Back pedal out of your stance here. All right, really jump out. The last phase of what we're going to do today, okay, is now we're going to work in that post step, okay? So everything we've done so far has been predicated on outside rushing, right? So what we're gonna do now, okay, is I'm actually gonna take this cone and I'm gonna set it up right over here. For us, what we wanna make sure is that when we post step back inside as tackles, we don't come up or backwards. We move laterally across, okay, parallel to the line of scrimmage from our deepest point, okay, and we do that so that you have the ability to maneuver and work with an inside rusher coming at you. So how are we going to do that? Well, two things. One thing I said to you yesterday is the worst thing we can do when we're practicing is anticipate, right? Coaches who may watch this, you all know when you are setting up the scout team against your offense or the scout team against your defense, and you get that scout team hero, we call them, right? Who knows what the play is, so he blows it up and you don't get that good look, okay? We want to avoid that here too, right? So yes, you know that you're posting inside here, but what we can't do is forget about the pass set that you're always going to do off the line, okay? And so if what happens is you're posting inside, you start to neglect that. You start to just hit and then try to go without good form. And so what we're gonna do to mitigate that is I'm still gonna be here. And I'm gonna take a step across and you gotta give me an outside strike and then post, okay? So you still have to be accountable to your pass set and then post off of that. Now the cone back there is if you hit that cone, that means you're posting on an angle. No good, you understand? Yeah. So we're setting up two physical, environmental changes with which you now have to operate. Understood? Set. Go. Good. You're just going to do outside, inside. Set. Go. Post more. Faster feet. Get further down the line. Okay? Bigger steps. Right? Set. Go. That's good. Good. Ready, set. Go. Good. Get those feet a little bit more even. Bring that foot back. Ready, set. Go. There you go. Last one. Ready, set. Go. Excellent. Good.